came about the mud.
And I did it my way. I done came about the mud. And I did it my way. I started from the dirt, stone, put me in the mud. Got a hand for the hot guy. Let me know about the sweat and the tears and the blood. Waiting for the students to turn blood. I came about the mud. Let me put myself back in lost position. Yeah, I'm just here for that crown. I ain't asking permission. Remove the block and shoot the shot from any line with precision. So when they look up what is hip hop, I'm the definition. Deliver best rendition of the essence that is missing. Yet and still my title is one of the city's best is missing. Look at the beast within them. Yeah, look how I roll through. They trying to give me lemons.
I gave them soul food.
They trying to give me lemons. All they did was spark the method. This pro flow was pro-official for the narcoleptics. Our growing king with vision didn't even mention I'm a menace yet. They already consider my skin a threat. This is not a pigment that symbolizes privilege. Nah, it symbolizes survival and ancestry of the warriors and kings in the artistic elite. So naturally I refuse to meet defeat.
I done came about the mud.
And I did it my way. I done came about the mud. And I did it my way. I started from the dirt, the stone, put me in the mud. Got a hand for the hot guy. But they know about the sweat and the tears and the blood. Waiting for the students to turn blood. I came about the mud.
I need to clip the gas, man. And I don't need haters to make me feel like I'm doing something right. As long as my spirit warm and heart whole and bars tight. And my soul isn't viable, my shine is undeniable. They seek attention, I seek knowledge. They check the ride the waves of the time. My mic check is timeless. My mother gave birth to a beast in 87. Y'all 2000s lean, full crack 87. Yeah, the flow that I'm supposed to chant the big influence of the golden era. Let us run and step up in my page. See who get closer better. Trying to tell them step back. I got the lyrical weapon. Couldn't hold it, shouldn't take a stab at that kickback along the smack back. The bit it real off your dad hat. Then maybe you can see where real rappers at. Big traps only, some facts only. And once the album drop, it's on. So appreciate the
I done came about the mud. Hey, and I did it my way. I done came about the mud. Hey, and I did it my way. Started from the dirt. Hey, y'all don't know who that man is right there. Y'all about to get learned. This is Curvilinear Radio. I am Mary JB.
And I'm Kiki with the E. And it's Nisha, Miss Hotspot. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is such a pleasure. Yes. We got men in the building. Love when we done had a man in the building.
I feel slightly violated now, but all right. Cool.
Do you? Ain't found her yet. It ain't even 9 o'clock.
I know Mary, so the violations have only started.
You like it.
That's why he's here. He knows he likes it anyway. That song that we just listened to was Out the Mud by I Soldier.
Yes.
H and Bag. So we have the divine.
Yes.
Mr. Handsome in the corner. He get off his phone and look into the camera.
Looking for
What's going on, y'all? Mr. Sexy. I want him to introduce themselves. Like, I need them to introduce themselves.
Who are you?
Please introduce who you be.
So my name is Aaron the Prince Graffia. So you know me as the hip hop guy, but tonight we're gonna talk about modeling 101 for the fellas. Come on.
Yes. And Sexy on the right.
Well, I appreciate that. But my name is David Grace. You are going to know me as David G. And you're always going to know me as moving. So if you see me sitting down, take a picture. It'll last longer. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, right?
Yes, this man is always on the go.
Always on the go.
Always on the go. I can't keep up with neither one of these gentlemen. I mean,
I feel so privileged that they're here.
I really do. I felt like I was.
You're going to blink and we're going to be gone.
Exactly.
We're going to blink for about 2 hours.
I was like,
Life on pause real quick.
Sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses.
Absolutely.
So how long have you guys been modeling?
I actually started in 2006, and I modeled for like 2 years. Stepped off the scene for a while, and then I came back around in 2015. So total of 5 years, about 5 years.
Okay.
Or so, yeah.
Somewhat of a vet.
Yeah,
right. So he's the pro here. I have been, I say maybe off and on like 2 years. So I do little odds and end things to help people out. I never really thought like it could jump up like it did, but one thing led to another. So we're here now.
Yeah.
So you sound like you just fell into it.
Right.
I mean, it's so easy for him to just fall in.
Uh-oh.
I see what you did there.
And not on the clock yet. No, okay, I'm sorry.
We got a
popular one now.
See, when the men is here, they call.
Listen.
Who that? Thank you for calling Curvilinear Radio. Who is this? Hello?
Listen, we ain't got time for the game.
Sure you
All right, well, we'll talk to you later.
Moving right along. So I want you guys to tell us about your backgrounds. Like what else have y'all done in this industry? I know you started off saying you're hip hop. Tell us about who you are, what your credentials.
Yeah, so I actually started doing hip hop fitness in 2013. So I got certified as a group fitness instructor and been doing it under that brand or my own personal brand, which is the Sizzler Hip Hop Fitness. So we've been doing that for 5 years now, just growing and moving. And in the meantime, I got an opportunity to model because once your face is kind of like out there in the scene, people come solicit your services.
Right.
And they came out, they reached out. I did one show, and then one show led to another and another and another, and the sister and the brother. So that's kind of how it flows. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Amen.
And then for me, probably not expected, but I helped out someone to shout out to Deborah Shade. I helped her out with a project, and that project led to a show to where, again, it must be like every time I model, I don't have a lot of clothes on. Like it always ends up with just black combat boots and then something else. So I really hope my mom isn't watching right now. But
sorry.
Right.
I had to demonstrate for us.
She literally cocked her head back. Ooh. Right. But
listen, my bad. I'm sorry.
It was just helping out people, and they needed it. Like that was actually just like a last resort thing. Like the first major, I'll call it, modeling thing. I never expected to actually come out to be what it was, and then like a lot of opportunity have just been opened up the door ever since then.
Didn't you used to host pageants?
All right, I hosted a lot of things. All right. Being in the front just comes natural to me. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to that, I used to host at a karaoke bar. If anybody remembers Otani, I used to host a karaoke bar there. I have hosted 3 plus-size beauty pageants, to where if she's listening and she's out there, Donnie Poppins, we're still cool. I still love you, girl. Hopefully that you bring the pageant back to Columbus. If you do, I'm still here for you. I lead it in front of the kids at my church, and when we have special projects for that, I'm Mr. David there. And then I got certified to be a group fitness instructor in 2015. Like, it was one thing to just be in the front row, but then it was another thing to be on stage, 2 totally different things, but it just came natural to me. But yeah, I just always keep it moving. So.
Okay. May I ask how old are you, gentlemen?
Oh, God.
What? Yes.
A gentleman never tells today.
I'll go first.
No, just kidding. I'm actually 34. I'll be 35 in December. Sexy Sag. Me and David are actually Sagittarian brothers. I'm December 21st, and he's
December 20th. I am 33.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
That's why I got like you said.
Ain't nothing wrong with that age embracing, honey. I just turned 35.
I'm a happy child of the 80s. I'm a happy child of the 80s.
Yeah.
How old you said you were?
33. I'll be 34 this December.
Be a baby.
Right. Don't do that.
There is definitely ageism in this industry, so maybe
that's what I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into that as well. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, because when it comes to modeling, men especially, it started off as y'all just being arm candy.
Of course.
Okay. Y'all really weren't modeling the runway, and it just has recently in the last 10 years kind of progressed into giving you more. And I want to know, do you feel like your progression in male, especially now, is it going into a right path? Do you see a big future in male modeling?
Absolutely. I think, especially in the urban market, if you fall into that, what we call category, high fashion, they have a specific look. Urban, they're a little bit more flexible, and so you get a lot of opportunities when you work in that market, and those are just opening up everywhere. If you look at some of your top designers, we'll just say, I don't know who's doing urban fashion right now.
Good answer.
Cool, Azore, some of those others. True Religion, a lot of times they're using urban models. So in men, and so that's giving us more opportunities now than we probably would have had before. Yeah.
Because you go from when I think about modeling progression, especially, it seems like it has really went hard in the urban wear. Urban wear really started off with like Marky Mark in his drawers. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, right? That's the problem. If you were a guy ever thinking about being a model, you open up a magazine, you see Marky Mark in his underwear. That guy works out 8 hours a day. I'm never going to have a six-pack like that. I like bread.
And sweet.
Right. I like bread. I like bread, sugar, and I love it when mom cooks fried chicken on Sunday. Right. So I'm looking at that like, I'm never going to do that. Now you see more of a natural progression where Sports Illustrated, just thinking about models, they just take normal guys who just lift weights. I believe it was Zeke Elliott, when they did like the whole body issue and everything. That man has the hairiest legs I've ever seen.
Yes,
but the way that they made him model made him look incredible. So that gives people, like, I don't want to say, that gives everyone, right? I think that's the best way to put it, a chance to think like, I can be like that. I can be like, because that what they did, that was like one of the few magazines I buy there. It showed that there are different body types because there are different sports.
Absolutely.
A football player is never going to outswim Michael Phelps because there's different body types.
Right.
But when you're talking about like for clothing and everything, you start out looking at like people who just want to wear their underwear. You see guys sitting there just laying back. You think you're going to buy that pair of underwear? I'm going to look at that. You will not.
Right. Exactly.
There's a lot of work that goes in that, but given the natural progression of everything, where you see more and more clothing actually being the focus, or just different types of models, where you just see somebody modeling a watch, you see somebody modeling a hat, whatever, it'd still just be a great focus. There's a natural progression that where I think, that could be something I'd be into.
And men shop. So I think that's another part of the progression. I think back then they only thought we bought drawers, but clearly we buy clothes too. So if you look at some of your predominantly used to be female stores, they're actually adding men's departments. Exactly. They're starting to realize that men shop, men like to be fashionable, and this is where we come in as models. We don't have to look traditional or standard or textbook, if you will, and that just gives us more opportunity that way. So,
which is, I don't even understand, when did they lose that thought that men weren't fashionable?
See,
you could give a man, a t-shirt, a pair of jeans, and a pair of Timbs. They can call that fashion. They could wear that all day long.
Yeah.
Is that a lie? Callers. Hello, thank you for calling. Who is this? Listen, Linda. Hello. Please call us back.
Try a landline.
Yeah, call us.
Go to grandma's house. Go to
your granny's house. Call her. Okay.
I didn't say hello.
And I'm speaking of body type, because it's very scarce as far as what I see. Being a plus size model. Have you ever worked with a plus size men model?
Yeah.
In any fashion shows?
I definitely have. This past weekend, actually, we did it. Shout out to Exantha Ward, who just did her Evolve fashion show here at the King's Arts Festival. That was Saturday at 4 p.m. this past Saturday. But she actually, both men and female, she had models from all walks of life and all body types. So she is one that definitely reaches out and steps outside of your normal standard when it comes to like beauty or what we call handsome, in that way.
Not so much in the modeling world, but given fitness wise and everything. We work with different types of people. Some people are just meant to be cut up and shredded and like that. Other people are meant to be just like huge. There's nothing wrong with that. That's still a healthy aspect.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's growing, and I think not to cut you off, but I think there's actually I've been seeing at least on Facebook advertisement about a fashion show that's upcoming, and they're actually doing plus size men or big and tall.
I've seen that
here in Ohio. Full Figure Fashion Week, they gonna have men.
Exactly. So
being local,
and people are starting, and I think designers are now understanding that it's not enough to just show your product. You actually need to sell your product. Right. And the only way you're going to sell it is by having real people that wear your stuff. Exactly. Right. So.
Yeah, once they open their eyes to that portion, your wallet will be
$7. Because at the end of the day, the same amount of money that they think they're using on buying that extra material and doing all that for the plus size, that's who's paying for it.
Exactly.
It don't matter. They on top of it because
it looks
plus size. Because I've seen plenty of clothes that look much better on a curvy
especially if it's a beautiful fabric, and you like, no, the more the better. Yeah, I want to see that.
Exactly. Right.
I apply the more the better at different things in life, but okay.
You really apply.
I'm so sure.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Just saying.
Sometimes you gotta say the note.
So I wanted to ask you two gentlemen, because you both work with men and with women in this industry as models. Is there a preference as a male model? Would you prefer walking in an all-male show versus an all-woman show? Not being messy. I'm just saying from the male's point of view.
We like to pick your brain.
I mean, for real.
That's a good question, though.
Exactly.
Because I actually have never even thought of that on the female perspective.
You want to do that first?
Yeah, I can hop in. Just real quick, just having done a whole bunch of shows, I can say they're all unique and they all have their own unique experience. But I will say, and I think this is across the board, no offense to the ladies, but you guys can be a little more catty.
Oh, I understand.
So we see that behind the scenes. It's a little bit more drama feel when I do shows. With the guys, we real laid back, just give us pretty much instructions what to do. We go, keep it moving. And like we say hi, we like cool, we dap it up. Like we don't need to go into like you got to be my best friend or you got to be my enemy. It's just like a mutual respect. I think females kind of click up and they do their business, and it turns into like
But I would say I'd rather have it to be mixed, where like you walk in, there's like men and women there, because honestly, that's what the world is. That's a true diversity. I mean, it just might be. It might just seem better that way because again, guys are going to come in like, "Hey, we're modeling. Hey, modeling. Hey, what are we wearing?"
Right.
I don't know. I saw that was a baby oil. We're here now.
Right.
So there's that. Or you don't want to ever think that you're better than anybody. You don't know what they go through to get to that moment. So it's just a little bit easier when you see it's mixed. Different people to talk to, different backgrounds. Just a lot easier.
I most definitely see the difference when I work with men and women. When we have shows, the guys, they just be like, it's whatever. They just like, if you leave it to them, they over in the corner doing push-ups or, something like that.
That's what it is too. This will be sitting up. I'm like,
chill. I'm like, I'm about to go mess with them.
And that's why I asked this question, because for me, working with both women, skinny women, plus-size women, and working with men, I prefer working with men, period.
Of course.
And the reason why I say that is because when it's behind the stage and you're already on 1,000, because you're nervous, even though you walk many shows, you get nervous on that first step out there. And so when you work with men are in their own little zone. They not being like, girl this, girl that. Can you help me with this eyelash? Can you help me with... I don't gotta worry about that with men. They be like, only thing you might have to ask them about is, can you help me with this back thigh? Can you put a little oil on that? Okay.
Men are gonna have up in the head like,
I got a picture of your favorite moment.
Baby, listen.
Yeah, I've been reminded of that picture.
Hey, if you ever need an assistant.
Massage on in.
It's not awkward at all. I remember the face when you was like, is that enough oil? Let me help you out again.
I'm like behind the scenes of the fashion show.
He was behind the scenes, and that's what I'm saying. Behind the scenes with gentlemen versus behind the scenes with women. When you have more gentlemen, it seems to balance out.
It does balance it.
It really does. When you have nothing but women in the behind the scenes and they in their own little cat, either they feel they too bougie or they too needy. It bothers, like it gets you off your square. But when it's a mixture and you have more laid back gentlemen that might do little jokes here or there or just eye candy, it just helps.
On that same note, right? If you're saying that, right? Because there are just in shows that we have all been together on. You know, you find people that you click with both genders on there. You also find those people who think that, you know, they're the best things in sliced bread, or that you're trying to hit on them. I'm here to tell you, I don't want you. I don't want you. I'm saying hello.
Gotcha.
That's
people
true.
Yeah, that is true.
And then I love y'all's combo. You know, it's just so different
just
from
easy.
women.
I've always liked boys, like hanging out with dudes more than women.
That's me all my life. That's all I hung out with growing up.
Yeah,
I didn't hang around.
Probably why we so cool.
Yeah. I didn't
Act like girls.
We do.
Roughneck fold.
And the feminine comes out. And the
lady it up a little bit. You know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just keeping it true.
They're like, hey, how's it going? 5 minutes later.
Hey. I'm right there with it, like, hey.
Didn't she dab me up like 5 minutes ago?
Yep. I'm trying to bring it back. I just wanted to make sure you understood my hat. I ain't like the way you initially said back to me, so let me redab you up. Let's get you back in order.
But you know what? That's like kind of like what you said, piggybacking off of that. Like that's the experience when you're modeling with both male and female.
Right.
It's like it's the balance.
Yeah.
You know, whereas the women might be dealing with anxiety and stress and really high strung that day, kind of help balance out because we're like chill. I know what's going on.
I'm gonna give you a joke quick.
You know what I'm saying?
How smoothly you just transitioned that in there, didn't he? Like how smooth, like you just said that, like
Anxiety.
it might be dealing with anxiety.
You know, that's a stressful word, okay? It is. And it in itself, you know what I mean? That a lot of times that's what happens, you know. Everybody, what's my hair looking like? What's my makeup? Like you guys have a little bit more to worry about, so we could definitely understand and sympathize with you. But we just provide the balance. We cool. We know what we're here for, and we just do that. And plus, we don't have as much requirements.
Right.
Like usually, we're not walking as many outfits or changing as much, or you know, the only thing we might be doing is manual labor.
Right.
From model to like construction.
Right. Like, can you break that stage down? Can you help me with this? Can you carry this? It's right over there. That was where I wanted to go next because I do see that too happen with me. And does it bother you guys that is as a male model that y'all get other titles on top of that?
It shouldn't, because if you're leading with being a gentleman, then you understand that kind of comes with the territory. You're there. Your masculine presence requires you to do some dirt sometimes, some things that, you know, somebody else may not want to do and or could do, but you're better fit for, you know what I mean? Like if it's breaking down the stage, or if the designer's got all this luggage, why have the female models, you know, assist there when we can jump in? You know what I'm saying? So those types of things.
And I do get that from y'all. Y'all very helpful.
Y'all are so helpful.
I swear, this is what you call gentleman, like.
And it should be common. It's just come naturally.
Hey, common sense ain't common.
See, these are men. Y'all had grandmas, right?
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
I had the grandma that would do like the face claw in the middle of the store.
So like this.
Oh, the whole little face claw. Right. And they want you to answer.
Yeah.
So it's like you understand me.
I'm inspired right now.
I don't know what you want me to do. But aiming you want me to.
I mean, you got to with boys, y'all. You know, I've done it, and I'm not even grandma. I'm like, do you?
You're like a dog. Any words? Look at me right now. Look at me right here.
I got the one who be looking on like this. I have
Right here.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna play a song and we're gonna come back because I got a couple more questions for you.
Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Stuck with all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself, picking up pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. I was told if I didn't push work and pop guns on my raps that I wouldn't go far. Wouldn't get money, wouldn't get that honey, wouldn't get that grip, wouldn't get that car. I was stuck in it for a minute. I wonder what could I do if I put my true self in the bars. Had to make changes. My heart pours and every letter my pen illustrates. I'll apply for your front spot on my dinner plate. Mind go when the line flow lean and pour heartstring and crush egos in one rhyme scheme. Hard to be what I'm called to be. Industry make it artistically hard to breathe. I feel like I can't 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 breathe. I feel like I can't. My soul not for sale, so don't place your bet because I'm chasing purpose, never chasing checks. Gonna be influential, never part of the issue, so protect your neck for the hits will get you like. There was a time I would do anything as long as I became you. People looking in my eyes like, Joe, this ain't the same you. So many people lose their self trying to claim you. Wanna shoot for the stars, but forgot how to aim through. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Stuck with all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself, picking up pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. I was told if I didn't expose and downgrade a queen that I wouldn't go far. Wouldn't get money, wouldn't get that honey, wouldn't get that grip, wouldn't get that car. I was never with it from the beginning. Funny how I choose to respect them more than they listen less. Gotta get it off my chest. We need all women. Look at all the lies that they feed all women. Look at how the media want us to see all women. It's like the world wants us to defeat all women. Look at how the industry treats all women. Look at how the energy shifts all women. So I check myself because it starts with us. We gotta protect and uplift all women. They can't breathe. I feel like 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 they. Keep your head up, queen. You don't have to do what they want you to do. Be who you want to be, and you are enough. So salute to you, because without you, it wouldn't be in me. I'm saying we either don't see the problem or don't want to solve it. I don't really know what's worse, or the fact that a man's still stuck in his ways. I'm probably gonna skip this verse. I don't see the world the way they used to see, so I speak the vision you don't usually see coming to you from me. Lyrically self, all heart, food for thought, gluten free. Blame famous, famous. I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up, stuck with all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself, picking up pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Look at all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself, picking up the pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you.
Hey,
I to the front, freaking H to the back, man.
Listen, man.
That's my dude.
That's my joint. Hottest. I just love that boy.
I love that song. I love him.
I was iced out job, Blame Famous.
Yes,
and this is Curvilinear Radio. I am Mary JB.
And I'm Kiki with the E. Reaching this hot spot. We in the building with these gentlemen, the lovely, the handsome and sexy Mr. David G over here. And my blue Aaron.
I like lovely too.
I love listening to blue Aaron over there.
So we are talking about Model 101, the male edition. So I just want to give the floor open for some tips and advice for upcoming models. So I want to first ask you, gentlemen, is there anyone that influenced you in this industry that kind of like helped mold you or assisted you perfect your walk or No one? As a male?
I'm going to go out on a limb and this is about to get like real like man cry emotional here. So
don't
right. I'm going to go ahead and like do the little spotlight pose.
I hate him.
I'm literally going to say that if it was not for and I'm going to say this right, my dad and my father, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this stuff. So my father is, if you're watching this, Dad, William and Grace, if you're watching this, I want to say thank you for the way that you helped me become self-sufficient. Because in this industry, it's either going to be like you do it or it's not going to happen.
Say that again, brother.
And he established a really good work ethic in me. And then Derek Nelson Sr., that's a dad. He actually helped establish the fact that, you know, you need to enjoy what you're doing. Like he's HNIC or whatever he does. And he basically instilled that in me where it was like, if you're going to go out there and you're going to shovel crap, be the number one crap shoveler in the world.
Right.
So if you're going to go out there and do anything, make sure you enjoy doing it and just be the best at it. So if I didn't have them, probably wouldn't be doing half the stuff I'm doing right now. I'd also have to say, she's probably going to hate me for this, my mother, because she would always say, I would say, Mom, I don't know if I can do this. And she would just look me in the face, well, you're my son. You can do anything.
Yes.
So if you don't have people who establish those good things in your life, like those good foundations to where you should be courteous, where you should be kind, where you like get the good foundations of how to be a good worker, have good ethics like that, probably wouldn't have had that. So I have to thank my parents mostly.
Amen.
That was a great answer.
Right.
And he's absolutely right. Just piggybacking, like I couldn't think of anybody throughout their career, but when I look back, like my mom used to model. She used to model for John Robert Powers, I want to say. Yeah. So and John Casablanca. So she used to do it all. But my mom used to model, so I was always like, I always grew up around it. Like I remember seeing back then they had the Polaroids, but my mom posing, you know, in her little bikinis and all that. Sorry, Mom, but you was doing it back then. That might be a little bit awkward, right? Yeah, beauty queen of the week, you know how it goes. But so that was a start. And my dad was always my father has always been super fly. You know, if you see him, he's always decked out with jewelry, matching head to toe. And then my dad was super 90s swag, you know what I mean? So I learned, like I used to steal his clothes, the big clothes, the big sweaters with like the Bill Cosby sweaters back in the, I know Bill Cosby is a sensitive subject right now, but his sweaters was dope. That was styled in, and you know, just those were types of influence. As far as when I finally broke into the industry, I went to Cincinnati to a model camp. It was right before a show we did, and they kind of just trained us on how to walk, how to you know, the audience, you know, kind of give your personality to when you walk, posing and stuff like that. So I did take some instruction there, and then outside of that, it's kind of like as you grow, as you go, kind of learn posing, YouTubing, educating yourself, those types of things. So
that's what's up. So as a model, when it comes to casting, what is it that you feel is needed for a male model? What is it, something that you feel like you should make sure you have, what you should present, how you should present yourself, tips that you feel that can help someone who's going to a
what
casting?
they need to have in their male model bag?
Mentally?
That's the next question. But this is for the casting, just for the casting of the show. Like what do you, mentally or physically, or you know, something that they should bring with them, their mental state, all of that. What kind of tips you would feel would help someone?
Well, mentally, you have to go into it to where if you really want to do this, you have to be confident in whatever you do. Every step has to be the best step forward. I would also say you have to be open-minded into what you're going to be doing. And God bless her, Queen, when she told me I was going to be wearing something, and then she pulled out a sheet. And I'm literally like, okay, all right, she's going to come out.
She's your queen.
Right. Like, all right, cool. She's going to cut my outfit out of that. No, that is your outfit.
Yeah.
All right, right up. Let's do this. All right, let's find the positive. You have to be able to find the positive in any situation. You never know what situation you're going to go into. You pretty much have to be ready for anything. That's just for life. But I'd say you have to be able to step confidently with that. Now you have to know who you are and what you will stand for. Because remember, you are modeling, and the point of this is that people are going to see it. So when you go to a shoot, would you want, and this is stuff that I ask myself, if a parent from your church saw this, would you be okay with this? If a kid saw this, would you be okay with this?
Right.
So you have to know what you're able to do. But other than that, I'd say a good picture and a tight T-shirt. You know, there's that. The ability to just be able to adapt. Just a good adaptation attitude. So
yeah, that's good. That was a good tip.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of like the confidence piece, the fearlessness, because you got to understand that you may think you was smoking, you know, everything, like coming in there full game on, full confident, and if you're not what the designer is looking for, it is what it is. I had to learn that very quickly because I'm 5'7", so I'm not the tallest thing. Fortunately, you know, camera angles and all of that make me look taller than I am. But, you know, oftentimes for gentlemen, the height requirement is about 5'9", and sometimes even upwards onto 5'11", 6 foot. So, you know, but that doesn't mean I don't cast. I go in there and I change the game a little bit. But you also have to understand that this is where the fearlessness comes in. You might get rejected. Like they might just flatly tell you no. And that's it on any level. It doesn't even have to do with height. It could just be about anything, because most of the time they know exactly what they're looking for their outfit, for the product or whatever. So sometimes you just don't fit that and you can't get discouraged. You can't defeat yourself or beat yourself up. I actually did that. When I started, you know, the first part of my 2 years, I was like, oh, I'm about to go into this horror. And I was doing hair shows and all of that stuff. I was doing some modeling shows, more urban. And then I tried to move over into the market. They looking at me like, you short and you a little thick. First of all, I need you to trim up. You need to lose some weight, because guys go through this too. We have to diet too. And then the other part was, you just won't be 5'9". That's just something. I mean, we could put you in boots and different things.
I mean, that only worked really well.
Yeah, exactly. 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 So those things can be challenging, but you still want to, as David said, put your best foot forward, go in and just understand that if this opportunity is not for me, a door will open. So by you just giving yourself in full to the universe and being super confident, if that door closes, one will open in your favor. So. And
I think that the ability to just be able to bounce back and stand back up when you get pushed out, because it is a rejection. They're giving you a hard no. And for something that that is unchangeable or unalterable or anything like that, a hard no can literally break you down. Like,
because I can work on this body, but I can't do nothing about my height. You know what I'm saying? So I can get in the gym, but you know, in terms of what you're gifted.
But they do have this new surgery that they put.
I know your name, kneecaps and all of that. Look, it ain't that serious.
I know that.
I don't want to know a world where you were like, you know, I'm still not going to say, hey, man, put that, bro.
All of a sudden, I'm 6'10", like,
that's crazy.
But I think your confidence can precede that. You know what I mean? A lot of times I've gotten booked on shows simply because of my confidence. So I appeared taller than what I actually was. So
that's my next question. I'm going to ask
when this man walks,
honey, yeah, he's everything. He got
fire. We fire signs. No.
He do got fire when he leave the walkway. I'll be like, listen, come back, everybody. I need you to do another one.
So have you ever got shy in front of a camera? I know you say you're pretty confident, but has there been a time you've been shy?
Situations I have been in, shy would not.
David is always in his drawers. Always.
Yes. I mean,
always.
Okay. That's not a lie. But I'll say the first situation to where I actually walked the runway in front of an entire group of strangers before I was an instructor, before I was doing anything with the church. Thank God. All I was in was a pair of combat boots, which is pretty much the standard. Like every time I go modeling, I'm looking like I'm reading this thing like combat boots.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Yes. I was a combat boot.
And have your combat.
And we'll say that was an experimentation thing with ropes and my trunk shorts. So I've got to walk out. I didn't know what I was going to be wearing. Thank God that I just went on like a Panera diet and just had chicken salads for 2 weeks. So I thought I was looking great. And then I saw what I was rolling. He just opened up a drawer and had all this black rope. I was like, all right, well, we're here now. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be able to send out your face right now. I hope everybody just gets it to the face when you're too involved.
I'm just listening.
And so you couldn't really be shy. You couldn't really be shy.
And I want to know exactly what you did with the ropes. Right.
Right, that's why I know those details.
It was...
How you had to hold it? Like,
No, it wasn't anything like
and make it into a belt?
Slave for you thing, right?
No, but
basically, it actually was that. So I had to wear like... There were gauntlets, and like the ropes went down, so to illustrate how you and your partner could use ropes together. Mm-hmm. And so there was like a chest piece where they could hold on to you, and then there were ropes to where like you.
So this was a kinky show.
Whoa, that's a very, very strong word. It was an educational show.
Educationally kinky.
Did you get any swag bags?
But
took away some ribs,
some ribs. Hell, you still
I
got the
took
ropes.
away a lot, and this is where I said this is where you have to go to where you know what you stand for, because I couldn't do anything like that right now because kids see everything I do. I'm on Snapchat, so I have to literally filter everything on my Facebook, filter everything on that, because not only am I a leader for church, I'm a leader of adults at church. I'm a leader of children at church. I am a leader of adults, and whoever comes to my class at Lifetime, I have to represent Lifetime. I have to represent 7 studios down there. I have to represent me and everything that's there. So with that, I can
have a private page.
Right.
Idea.
Right. But if going back to the initial question, you have to block that out of your mind. Like, you really have to put yourself into like a character there. I literally saw the outfit afterwards. Like, I look like a gladiator. I started just going around going like, are you not entertained? Right. Are you not entertained? Everybody's like, is he all right? And I was like, girl, he's just getting in character. Like, I turned to...
Why can I so see that?
I did too. I really can. And that's what's so sad.
But that happens. I understand you got all this, other life. It's like a...
We do have.
I wouldn't say a double life, but some of the things
Just
some of the things that the situation you may get put in. I understand you got to filter and make sure you got to uphold your image.
And if you can, like, try to do your homework, if you get that opportunity, sometimes it's a surprise. I was blessed with the opportunity last year to do Columbus Fashion Week, and it was a boutique, so it was a different style event, and basically we just modeled in front of the vendor tables, so shout out to Manhook, who I got to model for, but I was told who my designer was. Right. I went on Google who it was. I said, oh, this is Draws. I'm going to be wearing Draws, chances are. So when you kind of know these things, you kind of prepare for them.
Right.
Physically, ab-wise, I was not prepared. But so...
There was a whole lot of that.
Right. Snatching up. So nevertheless, I get to a venue, and I'm like, okay, what are they about to give me? And they hand me these little small ASS Draws. I'm thick. I got... exactly. You know what I'm saying? I got situation.
Right. They ain't even have to know.
I heard them say that earlier. So nevertheless, they hand me this little thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to squeeze my little tiny up in this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I did. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I made it work. But as a gentleman, you do have to be prepared that in this industry, a lot of the times, back to that arm candy thing Mary talked about in the beginning, a lot of times you are going to be without clothes, or without a shirt. They really, that can be the challenge. So you always, someone have to be in the gym or in your P's and Q's, to a degree. You know what I mean?
Get that kale salad in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, since we are talking about arm candy and y'all having to go on diets, when it comes to sizeism and ageism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Both of them are very strong in the females' world of modeling.
Yes.
Is that a big entity for male models? Is that a struggle that you have come across? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit.
Not really. Hold on. Let me come in. Who's calling me? In terms of the ageism, God blessed me with some good genes. So I will say, for me to be 34, almost 35 years old, I often get, man, you look so much younger. So for that reason, I've been given a lot of opportunities. When we were in New York, I'm talking to these 23-year-old guys, and, we're just talking, and I didn't know their age. They didn't know mine. And they're like, so where are you from? How old are you? And I'm like, 34, telling them where I'm from. And I'm like, 35. It was like, pause, 34, there's no way, dude, there's no way. And and mind you, these are models from all over, and they were in their 20s, like 23, 24, 25, and they're looking at me like, dude, you look the same, so if you're blessed with, the rejuvenation of the skin, and you drink a lot of water, you're going to hold that. In terms of, what was the other one, sizeism? Sizeism, again, I would say for me, height-wise, not in terms of, because I fit small tops, medium tops, so that's standard. I wear a size 33 waist, so that's standard. So in those realms were good. But when we talk about length inseam for a pant, a lot of times designers will go with like a 34. I'm a 31 on the inseam. So those things like that would matter for me for sizeism. Yeah, sizeism.
I think if you want to put in some shorts.
Pat.
I wear a lot of shorts. Model a lot of shorts.
I think for me, I was talking to a lot of people about that, like the age thing and everything. I don't think there is, but it just depends on what you're modeling. Like you wouldn't see like a 60-year-old man modeling like a little hoverboard or anything like that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see a teenager modeling Stacey Adams, because he would really not wear it right. It's not exactly meant for the completely young, we'll say that.
Right.
Size-wise, I will just kind of pick out. I've been kind of genetically blessed to where everything is like a great size. Nudge. But
Pow.
right.
You better quit. You got about 10 minutes. Don't get the poke on that. It's touring season.
Right.
So,
but I'm saying them bulls. I'm saying.
You see that blue hand going over there?
I'm saying that age-wise, it just depends on what you're modeling. Like, it depends on also the article of clothing. Because my dad, God bless his soul, gets a brand new Invicta just about every time that he wants one, because again, he's HNIC. This Invicta looks like it could take a bullet and then shoot it back out. I would never be able to wear that watch because it's not for me. Like, I even put it on, I was scared to fasten it up because it just didn't look right. Like, so I've got a nice watch, yes, but it is not my dad's watch, because my dad's watch is for that. It is for an older gentleman. I am still a young man. So I think there's room for anyone at any age to be a model. And granted, it's still out there in the media, and I do see a little bit of that changing, going from all types of media. And I was explaining that to some kids the other day. It's still out there. It's just not as prominent because we have so many things to where people are accepting whatever size they are. People are working either change themselves to be healthier, and that is going to change their body, or just keep the same, but they're going to be living longer. They're going to be enjoying that. So it's tough, but yes, it's there. I've seen it, but I really think that we're getting away from it.
Okay. So I'm going to play another song, and then I want to ask some more questions to these gentlemen. I really like talking to men. Y'all fun.
Like, her face goes like,
she had a headache.
We ain't got no.
I still got a headache. My head is like throbbing right now, but
I'm waiting on her Mary to give me some of that snickerdoodle that one time.
Baby, listen, I was going to stop today. I really was about to stop today and go get me some. I'm hoping I can order some online, because I really, because, the season is changing.
I know.
So Snicker ain't going to be there.
Right.
But I like my snickerdoodles with the oodles. Hey! If y'all don't know what snickerdoodle is, that is GNC protein shakes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait a minute, let me get this straight.
And that's a little something else, so don't let her fool you.
All right, so
about that after hours.
Right. That was a legit snickerdoodle. Like you had two fitness guys here and didn't bring the protein shake. Mary, I'm disappointed.
I know. Last time he was here.
Y'all know that. Y'all should have been bringing us one. Right.
No, you gotta work out with
cold. Right? I do. I worked out today.
You ain't never worked out with me.
You're right. One of these days I am. Just don't let him stretch you out.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad.
I'm gonna work out with both. I worked out with Avery before at the fair. Sorry. And I'm gonna work out with you one of these days too. I already told you. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. When I speak it, it's just a matter of time. I'm gonna make it happen.
That was 3 months ago.
And he about to come up north. Hey, I'm about to be up in there. When is this?
Shimmy, next Wednesday, 7:30.
Yes. I'm I gotta take baby steps. Hell no, Aaron ain't killing me. Come on, you gotta look for your own body. Exactly. It's modification to everything.
It looks more strenuous and aggressive. If you're at that level, then you take it there. But if you just beginning, just like riding a bike, you start with your training wheels and you build yourself up.
We're gonna get more into that though, because I want to know about these classes for real. Everybody need to know.
Listen, we gonna go back and I'm gonna play this song real quick. Here we go.
All right.
Tears I've cried in a glass of wine. All the pride I felt to have inside will revive if I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh yeah. Sipping Rex Goliath and I'm wishing I was David. One stone left, but I'm thinking I should save it for the next giant. Trying to take over my mind, steady trying to break me down like an enzyme. The demons in my head telling me I cannot make it, just like Satan to say I could not succeed until I make it. Blatant misuse of my talent would be futile. The damage it would do to my ego would be brutal. I try to represent for the youngins back at home who feel as if they're going through the struggle all alone. That's meant to be a sign of short, so I floss on my allure and disguise it with the pure. Feeling so impure, so I'm searching for a cure for this pain that I endure. The savior that I seek lives deep down inside of me, but it's so hard to be sure. That's why I say I could see the light in the tunnel. Eye from an eye, heartbroken, pondering vengeance daily. Sipping something strange to change whatever ails me. I barely made it out alive this time. I fear the next interaction, I won't survive benign. I just want to leave this world behind me. I don't belong in this world, reminds me. Want me silent, want me following blindly. If that's the case, please don't be affected by excess. Absence of my faith checking. Now you fiending for me, so expectant. Been rejected, but he projected, the show must go on. Wondered if you feel the same with Wonder Woman gone. Pseudo rose, legion of hoes, so strategic, but no allegiance. Make him sad he rubbed this woman wrong. This is a song for me, but it's also a song for you. Should you accept it, what you've been going through? Too often the heart shrouded in darkness, so light it up if you spark it, just been walking at the end of the tunnel. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. This world will funnel up your dreams if you let it run you. So let your passion sink action. May that everlasting sunshine its light upon you. Cause I ain't done. The rapper's got the gun that the prizes I've already won.
I like her. Who was that again?
Lena Jackson.
She local?
No, she is from North Carolina.
Down in Carolina.
Mr. Innocence introduced me to her.
Okay.
So she can sing and cook good barbecue?
I hate you.
You know,
I'm not feeling.
I'm a guy. We have to find, like, you know, there are a lot of things you can do.
That has to be.
What is your barbecue gang got? Like,
Right.
Did you just say your barbecue game?
Yeah. That's the first thing you think about when you think down south. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
No, it's not the first time.
Okay, well, hell.
Turn up.
I hate y'all. Y'all tuned in Curvilinear Radio. I am Mary J. B.
And I'm Kiki with the E. This mission is hot spot. We in the building. We try not to misbehave with these gentlemen. Mr. David over here.
I'm offended.
Mr. David G. Mr. A ran over here. Male models. We try. I think we're behaving ourselves very well.
You feel like you were?
Behaving ourselves very well. What you thought I said?
Shaking.
It's
8:57.
I must say, you guys are though.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all.
Chill with it tonight.
It's 8:57.
Yeah.
We got 3 more minutes.
I told y'all we ain't had no meal.
Quick. All right, Joe.
So, as male models, you know, female models, we got to bring like a whole suitcase
Listen,
when we do shows.
2 suitcases. Because one of them just the shoes.
So, as male models, baby, listen, New York trip was ridiculous how many bags we had in that damn van.
Hey, we packed it down, though.
We packed that thing down.
We got some nice packets
that y'all be dealing with.
And I was in the backyard by myself with the luggage. The luggage was like my pillow, my footrest. My appointment helped me get out of here. She didn't even want to give me that seat. She was like, nah, I'm going back here.
Stay with the drive.
No.
So when it comes to you guys model bags, what is it that you see is a common item that a model should have if they're looking into it?
Powder.
Powder? What do you need with powder? Is that for
baby
shaking
powder?
or something?
Please elaborate.
Like for
Again.
thighs or something?
Yeah, because some people might take that though.
Just elaborate.
I would say anything.
Make sure your feet smell.
I would say anything to make sure that you're always fresh because you don't know how many lights are on you. You don't want to be seen as sweating or have something run off on you. With us being like both dancing
Okay, powder kind of messy.
I don't do powder.
I
Sweat a lot.
We can do wipes. We use wipes.
No,
Yeah, I was going. Yeah,
it depends on what you're wearing.
Doing,
like what you're doing. Like if you do a lot of movement, maybe not a lot, just enough.
Dry towel.
I would also say like just something to keep you fresh. Like just like you don't want to be constantly changing clothes. You don't want to have like a funk about you because then one, you're all under lights. You're all moving around. You're all concentrating. That takes a lot of energy. That causes you to sweat a lot. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you always need to be prepared. Snacks, only because you never know how long you're gonna be somewhere.
Man, with no food.
Do you see that one of these items says shapewear?
No.
I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
But you never know how long you're gonna be anywhere. And being what I do with my life and everything, I constantly have to eat.
What type of snacks do guys pack in their bags?
I can't speak for all guys. But
nuts.
Yeah, you walk around with shaking up shakes.
It has to be something.
Right. You always got a damn protein shake. You got it right now.
Those really help though.
Don't hate. First off,
don't get a cheap one.
My bag.
But man.
But you don't want to do anything that's going to. If you've been working for a lot, you don't want to do anything that's instantly going to give you like a bloat. So that's what I say. You do like a little 8-ounce single water, a few of those. And some almonds or like a snack bar or just something quick that you can bite, munch, and it'll burn off but give you what you need. Other than that, I would just say like general hygiene stuff and maybe just like a good brush. Yeah. Again, I applaud you women for everything that you do.
Yeah, because that sounds like a little backpack.
Right. Now we're talking about David, who's always in draws, so he's not required to bring a lot. Now he's gonna be in his drawers.
Okay, on that same notation, make sure your drawers is fresh. Make sure ain't no streaks in there.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Right.
No, you might not even own drawers with streaks in there.
We don't even want to do off-white. Just go ahead. I mean, how much
just go get a fresh pack.
I don't know any grown men, and I might get in a lot of trouble. I don't know any grown men that actually have an all-white pair of underwear. And I work out at a gym.
They have these tidy whities, huh?
But
that's a brand new thing to me.
I don't wear it. So
some just
back
don't
to
do the
what
white.
he was saying, the requirement type things like with the model bag, like black tee, you definitely need, and they should be fitted. So black tee, white tee, standard. Jeans, black and like a denim jean, standard. Black dress or dark dress pants, usually black dress pants, standard, and a white button up, standard. Those are usually some of the things. Yeah, combat boots. And then like a tennis shoe. Now, back to David's comment, I never wear tighty whities, but specifically for this one show that I had to be in, that was what they wanted: nice, tight, white, short. They specified because of what we were wearing.
How'd it feel?
You know, it's just too much.
Constricted.
Very constricted. Very constricted.
That's a good question. But I have a flashback moment.
But they ain't white though. But they.
I like this. See, I like them boxer briefs.
I got my drawers on tonight. Briefs. I got on the briefs tonight.
Just the briefs?
Yeah, just because it depends. Like if I'm wearing tighter fitted, because you also got to know what you're wearing. Right. Sometimes boxer briefs don't necessarily have the line. If you're wearing very tight pants or something that's somewhat see-through, they have to be brief.
Have you ever had to wear thongs?
I have not yet. Manhood was almost like a thong. They had some thong options. I opted not for that because then ASS was going to be all out. I was already getting all the females high-fiving my butt all night. So, you know, if I had it all out, it would have really been, you know.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation where I was like, okay, so here's your outfit, and it's a triangle. I was like,
go for it. Right. Back and flap in the front, flap in the back.
He's in a triangle. I'm done. A triangle. Put the pyramid out on him.
But combat boots, that's my brother David. Combat boots are a must.
Make sure they're comfortable.
Yeah. Yes. I had to get.
I know y'all ain't talking, man. Y'all, I be envying y'all when we at these shows. Y'all be in them flats or barefoot boots
or combat boots, and them things are not comfortable.
Not all.
I know.
And we ain't talking no.
That's why y'all be stressed.
Them heels is half the stress.
Right.
Maybe 70%.
We just gotta make sure these toes is on point. Right. Our feet's gonna be out.
Thank you, fellas. You hear that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And
I'm about to be on you ain't modeling.
And real quick though, like, because this was one thing that was different for me. Because when I started out modeling, I never did like the makeup thing. You know, that was never like my thing. My face is just naturally beat. No, I'm just playing. But no, I just felt like I didn't necessarily need it. I was told that I really didn't need it. But when we talk about pictures and lighting, makeup does help enhance. And so fellas, don't be afraid to, you know,
what's
get
the
makeup.
most makeup you ever wore?
I like in New York, for example, I did like the highlight. Not a lot, but a lot of highlights under my eyes because I have deep eyes. So in certain light, and we're light skinned, it makes the shadow super dark. Yeah, light skinned problems.
Black eyes.
Exactly. So now you know you put the makeup on. Exactly, concealer. And I keep in my bag too. This was I got from Sephora. It's a lip, like it kind of makes your lips a little like a lips. Like that by the lip is heavy. Thank you very much.
You see how he did purchase?
Hold on. In all seriousness, this stuff gives you an extra to it, and it keeps it super moist. So, because you know we nervous as heck. You know you be dry. You got. You know, and all of this, you can
I'm really on the left, back to the left.
I've heard nothing said for the last. We just watching your mouth.
But those things kind of enhance. So, fellas, there's nothing wrong if you're in the modeling industry with using certain things to enhance and or accentuate, and it does help you cut above. Now, I know there are some fellas, because I've modeled in a lot of shows, and some dudes throw on a lot of makeup. What? Like they be looking like full mannequin Barbie doll type stuff, and I'm like,
yeah, I can do that.
Nah. You know, that's not for me. I don't arch my eyebrows or whatever, but I am open in this industry. And I think David touched on this earlier. You do need to be open to change. They may want to do something with your hair. They may want to do something with the eyebrows. They may want to do this weekend. I had, because it's like an African style, one of the scenes. And so we did the face paint. Tribal paint. So you got to just be open to the experience. You may have to wear black lipstick. You may have to wear eyeliner because they might be doing like a gothic, or something like that, like real edgy look. and so they may add those things.
Well, if they can't adapt and adjust, then
you're not going to be a model. Absolutely.
And I wanted to add, because it's a big stereotype that men they question the sexuality of a man if they are a model. Homophobic, like horribly, and it bothers me because not all men that are models are gay or straight. They're not.
Me and my son had to have this conversation about guys do hair. I'm like, all guys do hair is not gay.
Somebody doing nails, same.
He's 14. He couldn't.
So have y'all came across those kind of stereotypes as men?
Yeah.
That was a recent
yesterday. You're right.
Yeah.
I just think that just given everything to where you're supposed to be like, you're supposed to stand there, you're supposed to look pretty, you're supposed to be handsome in everything you do. You're supposed to be just like comfortable in your own skin and everything. That's a negative stereotype that only, and I'm really trying not to like borderline do this, but only homosexual men have.
Right.
Like, they're just comfortable with who they are, they're able to come out and everything. Hey, that's awesome. That's great. I'm straight and I'm still that. So, you get that aspect, and it doesn't help just given my situation where I'm in the gym. I teach songs where it's like, all right, now shake your butt. Right. All right, now get down low on the ground. Like, now pop it. And then they say things like, now pop it like you're paying an electric bill, and the songs you dance to. I have had people openly come up to me and say, so I want you to know what's going on in the back of the classroom, to where we either think that, his dude is either really happy, his girl is either really happy, both of them really happy, or he's just a stripper on the weekend.
Damn.
Well, I gotta come to classes.
In a good class, the instructor is going to move with you and show you why he's the instructor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do good classes, not to my own home. This is what I'm told. But it is something where you deal with it all the time, where people are questioning where, well, I think that he is, or he hasn't come out of the closet, or he is, and I can convince him that he is, or I get him to do this, I get him to do this. It's never going to happen.
What bothers me is I don't worry about your sexuality. Like, get to the class, get your
That's the world of just like that's the world in anything.
Yeah.
Because they want to tie it to where this is what you are, because I want to pinpoint you as that.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes you can't. Same with modeling, same with fitness. I don't care who you go home to.
Right.
If you have somebody you love, and you love them unconditionally, that's great. I'm trying to find that. So,
right. I hear that language.
Kudos to you for finding
he's single.
What I'm saying is, where people will judge you by what they see. And that's one thing that the modeling world, that's a negative aspect of the modeling world, that it's very difficult to combat that. If you're modeling something where, if it calls for you to wear lipstick and an eyeliner and you're rocking it, you're a straight dude, right? That's you being open. That's the poison you picked.
Yeah,
you have to be able to do all that. That's where you have to be foundationally set in yourself. It's just the same thing that you do all the time,
because people will try you in the industry. When we went to New York, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna throw nobody under the bus.
We ain't got no
just in general though. I think I know we're all familiar with like the Me Too movement, and that works, as they say, men are coming out to speak their truth as well. Right. It does work on both pages. And so when you're in this industry, and then they know that you're grinding and you're trying to go to the next level. Well, what you trying to do to get to the next level? You know what I mean? And so it could be that you're a straight dude and the designer is just so happen to be male, and he's into those things, and he's like, what you trying to do to get to the next level? You know what I'm saying? Not that type of thing. Exactly. Right. You know what I mean? So, or the opposite, it could be a female designer who is like, what you trying to do to get to the next, you know what I mean? Or could be upset because maybe your preference is men, and now she's salty because she can't get with you. She thought that you was going to be the eye, the apple of her eye, and now she can't bite you. So now it's a problem. Right. So, you get into those situations, and that Me Too or just in general, that runs both ways. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Wow.
It's tough.
I've never been tested, so thank you, G.
You've never been tested?
Not like that.
I can honestly say
not like that. I have been bamboozled.
Okay.
but I've never been tested like. You trying to get
not like
that, but I have been bamboozled where you think it's a different situation when it's not.
I was gonna say sometimes it's super subtle.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's super subtle. Like when I was out in New York, for example, it was it goes down, but we were leaving a party. And, of course, we're part of the model crew, and they were like, oh, no, come on back. So we're like, okay, yeah, what's up? We're like, we're going to still kick it. We're going to still party. And then it turns into, like, let's keep buying you drinks. Now I want you to dance on her, and I want us to dance together. Like, and I'm like, okay, I already see where y'all trying to take this. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be, and I tell that to anybody who's aspiring, like, don't be super naive. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know that absolutely know that people will take advantage of you in any industry you work in. Modeling, music tend to be the easiest targets because everybody wants to be a part of that world. Like everybody wants to be in that limelight. So you'll sacrifice and do whatever to get there. And sometimes sacrifice. So sometimes, you're going to be put in situations that you're going to have to make that decision. This is where your moral compass comes into play. What you going to do? You know what I mean? So
that's crazy. That's
y'all getting it in New York.
Maybe listen.
Oh, it was a word. Yeah, okay. Every night.
Every night. Yeah, we have fun though. It's a good time.
Yeah, I didn't throw a curveball on that person's plan right there because you try to get me drunk. You have 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes. After that, all liquor's burned off. All right, it's time to go, guys. Why don't you come back? No, I said it was 11 o'clock. Right. I'm leaving.
He said 11 o'clock. The party don't even get started until 12.
I see about 11:30.
Especially in New York.
Yeah.
Listen.
You would find me in the club somewhere. There's David.
I'm weak right now.
But you definitely have to be like just aware. Be conscious. Don't ever go into anything super loose to where you can get taken advantage of. Kind of go in there with your antennas straight to the sky and just being aware of those things that are going on around you. You know what I mean?
Go up in there like you a boss, like I own.
What's up? And that's even going back to Mary hasn't asked this question yet. Maybe she will, but that is going back to like a lot of times people will ask me, they'll inbox me, and or if they're shopping for models, they'll be like, well, what agency are you with? I'm a freelance model. I think most of us in this room who have done modeling are freelance. What's the difference? Well, the difference is
I'm my own boss.
You're your own boss. As a freelance, but now the benefit of being with an agency is they can put you on. So like, for example, you go to New York, some of these high fashion shows, you're not going to be able to walk in and cast and get. A lot of those models are agency models, meaning they've paid the agency is now paying the designer or the production company for their models to be in there. And that's why a lot of outside, you'd be like, man, I wanted to walk in that, but I never got that opportunity. It's pretty well restricted like that. And then there are those opportunities that you can snag yourself. Don't ever be afraid to say, and I think David said this earlier, being a hustler, like getting out there and doing your homework, networking and talking, because that's how a lot of my experiences have come. It's just being out in the public eye. You do one show, somebody sees you and they want you for the next show, and so you come in there with your A game every single time, and that just awards you opportunity. You know what I mean? And networking, talking, getting your comp card, selling yourself, because nowadays too, and I think this has helped when we talked about ageism, sexism, sizeism. I think what's helped nowadays is they don't want stiff stick models anymore. They're looking for models that have personality, because we might need you to actually sell the product. So how do we sell the product? Well, if you got a nasty stiff attitude, you're not gonna make anything that you put on. Exactly. But if you're like cool to talk to after the show, they're gonna be like, man, I'm gonna go buy that shirt just because you coolest. SHIT, and I'm gonna go ahead and cop that shirt because I want to be like Mike. Life. Yeah, exactly.
That's true though, and that's what I I'm seeing changing in the industry is because when you think about garments compared to prior years to now, movement is a must.
Yeah.
Right.
And that stiff standard walk is not giving the garment that much flow. You know, especially in urban wear. You know what I'm saying? Urban wear is more your attitude, your spunk. And if you have just a standard walk and you go out in the daggone jean outfit where it's more casual like style, don't nobody want to wear. I don't want to buy that. You know what I'm saying? But if you come out with some spunk in your walk and you like really playing with the pockets, baby, and that thing sold before I walked off the daggone runway. You know,
and it is about that personality too. Because like I think Misha's in the show with me. I think the We Promo Awards.
Yeah, we
are. So shout out to everybody who's in the building when the re-promo.
Oh, we should
using that for an example.
None of us said that. Good job.
Right. But using that as I know she's gonna be like, y'all got on the radio and then say one word. Re-promo USA. Oh, okay. Plug. Those are the plugs. But just real quick though, like that show, we're gonna be handing out awards and doing different things too. So this is where personality has to match the model. And so there are a lot of, like when I was fishing for New York opportunities, things were coming up that they were looking for models to be red carpet hosts. Well, if you got a bland ass personality, can I cuss now?
Yes, you can.
If you got a bland ass personality, it's not going to happen. It's not going to translate well. Right. And so they're trying to sell other things other than just the garment. Sometimes they are just trying to sell the network, getting viewers. Us being on this. Absolutely, I've done hosting gigs. So. Those opportunities come to you because you're more well-rounded and you're not just a pretty face. You got some more depth.
Right, you need that personality.
Yeah.
I'm excited about We Promo USA.
This is something so different. It
really is. It's outside of mine.
How we gonna carry it?
I'm gonna be like,
you said how we
here's your award.
Better watch the game. And then on D Lucky's design. Say, we like this, and then we like.
Just make sure you do like the everything and nothing pose.
Right.
Yeah. Look at his eyes. Don't do those eyes, though.
Yes.
Don't do that.
That's the bedroom.
I can't.
Bedroom boom. Anybody remember that?
Yes.
Bedroom boom.
You taking us way back. Lord Jesus. Listen, and I agree. To piggyback off of what you said, when it comes to networking, I feel like that's a big thing, and I'm learning that because even though people don't believe it, I'm shy.
Stop it.
No, you're not.
I am. Listen.
Mary.
Listen.
Listen.
There's different levels of shyness.
I'm shy too, though.
Let me tell you about my shyness.
Yeah,
my shyness is I can't go into a room full of people and be like how I am right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know none of y'all.
Yeah.
And I don't feel comfortable. Like I'm not at that level yet. So, and then once I get into a room and I'm starting to feel the vibe, that's where I'm a vibe. Then hi y'all. That's when that comes out. But I can't. I'm still learning on just walking up to people. Pick up my card. Mm-hmm. Like, hi, how are you? Like, I'm still learning that because when we go to events, I'm like, here, go get it. Kiki is my enforcer. Like, if I'm just with Misha be like, no,
hold on. Let me tell you about Scorpios. I gotta say this.
Always got a story.
No, because it's serious talk. So I'm a little bit laid back when it comes to the network. I mean, like I will network because that's a part of what I do as a business and entrepreneur. But so I'm not shy in that way, but I can be a little lax with it. Let me just say that. Too. Well, I have a Scorpio friend. Shout out to Lydia Hernandez, MBA. She's a Scorpio. She moves. So she's all like, babe, we got to do this. We got to do this. Let's move here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Keeps me on target on those things. Like, and shout out to her because she headed to New York this weekend.
Nice.
Same thing. Y'all, them Scorpios, y'all move.
She up there. Bring me back a pizza.
Right.
Listen, please.
So she's down there making moves, but one of the things she did say as a friend, she said, look, I'm going to network and I'm going to make sure I shoot you some contacts while I'm down there. You know what I mean? But that's y'all's whole MO. Like, whereas I might be a little lax with it. Like, I'm going to get the contact, but I'm going to be a little more lax.
I'm waiting for that open window for me to do it.
Yeah.
But not that person.
Right.
I like to wait for that person as my opportunity is alone.
Yeah.
And y'all will wait. It don't matter. They be in the whole conversation. I just want to introduce myself.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I can't do that.
And the ladies right there.
There was
But that's that balance. That's that balance that we talked about earlier. So it's good to have those type of people in your corner because they don't want us on time. I'm not on time. Listen.
But she keep us in everything.
Yeah. So hustle. It's that mentality. Girl, this is coming up. You better know about it. I already know how she moved. But that's a good quality to have in this industry. You gotta work for you, like you got to. Bosses move in silence, but bosses also move aggressively.
Very aggressively.
You know,
that's why
I'm trying to get my aggressiveness up a little.
That's why we're a team.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody about to run over us.
Yeah, come on.
We definitely balance each other out.
But
we never thought coming through. A Taurus, a Scorpio, and a Virgo. Yeah, I really wouldn't have had that one out.
That's some 3.
Well, you solidly kind of pull them back to a certain degree because I know Tauruses. I love my Tauruses. Shout out to the Tauruses in the building. My mom's birthday was Tuesday, so I'm very familiar with your Tauruses. But you guys y'all can be stubborn and y'all are very like cool, opinionated. Like y'all standards about certain things. No. And so if she's pulling you in a direction like, girl, we need to do this, Misha's gonna be the fallback guy. Like, nah, girl, let me look over the blueprint.
Our contractor.
And then you just gotta sit. You play the field until it's green light go time. And when green light go time come up, now we see Mary. Pow! You know, she come out, her light is fully on. But that's a good combination, y'all got.
Because I'm like, if you do it like this and we do it like this,
right.
If you do it like this, after I leave everything out, everything pan out, it's go time,
I'm more of the artist of the group. I'm more of the visual person.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know all the details so I can visually make sure it makes sense.
Right.
They like, she the blueprinter. She the one that bringing it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
can we see this?
I need to see this.
Yeah, she be wanting to analyze it. Me and her sometimes and be bouncing on her like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
I need plans. I need y'all to work it out.
She be so uncomfortable sometimes. She blindsided, but she is having an okay time.
Right. Because your sisters got your back.
Exactly.
You got trust that
you just don't know. That is so true.
Like, you light-skinned bitch.
I needed some chocolate. I went through that interview with my
extra milk.
We're wearing
that balance, that chocolate. Get all the flavors.
So, I want to play a game.
Okay.
Yay.
We playing strip poker? Oh, I'm sorry.
How that, honestly, it was like the first thing that I didn't get a car yet. I just didn't think something wrong. David, you're going to have to lose clothes.
He's so used to it. He's so used to it.
We could just say blessed people with you.
I'm shocked David didn't come in here with drawers.
I mean,
all right, look, I promise. That is.
There's nothing wrong with a man that likes to be free.
No, do what you do.
I mean, remember this,
Scorpio.
That's that move.
Violation number 5.
Right. Oh, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. So we about to play this or that. I can't. Y'all keep forgetting I got a headache and I'm trying.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sad part is I'm starting to get one.
Okay. So this or that. You ready?
Yep.
Boxes or briefs?
Boxer briefs. But
you like the combo deal.
I
He like the snugness with the fit. It's okay.
You're right. You're right. But yeah, I would say boxer briefs.
Now I'm saying, like nowadays, I'm saying briefs because I've moved into tighter fitting jeans, and so
a good pair of boxers
feel better. Yeah, the briefs feel better when you're wearing tighter bottoms. So briefs for me.
Okay, Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
This is hard because I don't drink pop, but when I've had pop, it was Coke, definitely. Definitely.
Orange juice or apple juice?
Apple,
definitely apple, definitely apple.
Red balls or melanin?
Well, wait a minute, bitch. I got melanin.
No, you don't. You just red as hell. Go ahead.
You're more in the middle. You can go either way.
Well, then so can I.
You like a middle person. You like either one.
I don't have a skin preference. I just have like a mentality preference.
Hey man,
That was
the intellectual.
That was, even though you're supposed to pick one of those.
I know, right? You cheat.
For me, I got to go with melanin. I'm already there. I love chocolate. I love it. Something about that chocolate skin do something to me.
Why I feel like you're talking to me?
Hey, I am snickerdoodle.
I'll take some more chocolate than you, girl.
That's right.
You're right. Like I like them chocolate. Like I like milk chocolate. Like
I was mind dark chocolate for real.
If it's black as this monitor, I'm taking it. I
got to see what you look like with that.
Well, right. I need
Did y'all see that? She had a serious face of concern right there.
Everybody, let's talk about why you're a shadow. That's right. Let's talk about
Star Baby.
Listen,
Michael Blackson.
You like it like black like that?
No, I'm just saying.
No.
It depends. Like I said, it depends on what you look like with that. Anyway, back to the game.
right.
I can't start discriminating and stuff. No discrimination.
Oatmeal or grits?
Oatmeal for me.
oatmeal.
Maybe yes, because it's healthier.
Because they serve it at work. That's why.
It tastes better to me.
Yeah, it tastes better. And there's a lot more variety.
Yes, true.
Yes. You're right. You can add to it.
Okay, I'll give
you can add to grits too.
Yeah, it's just because like they have it all the time.
I know sugar, salt, or pepper. Who's doing it?
No.
It's sugar, salt, or pepper. You can't do.
What you do?
If I'm eating grits, it's sugar.
Thank you.
Yes, no.
But I can do both though. It's either or.
Cheese in my grits.
I can do that too. But see, salt and pepper go with the cheese.
That's what y'all doing.
Sunny side up or scrambled?
Scrambled.
I'm
Scrambled.
You're playing it off for safe over here, ain't you? I'm just waiting.
Right.
I know what it gets.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead, do it. Top or bottom?
Top or bottom?
Yes, it don't even matter. Top or bottom.
Top.
Take it how you wanna.
Definitely on the top.
Yeah, definitely on top. We'll share 95% me.
Your own perception of it.
From the back.
Are we just getting it in or are we making love?
Wherever your mind just went.
Search thought.
All right.
Study long, study wrong.
I like to put passion whenever I do, so
listen, Daddy.
But if it's a different track playing where it's like I'm trying to do something freaky to you, drop them pants.
Yeah, what's about to happen?
You ain't gotta say words from the look in your eyes. I can tell you what I love.
I ain't gotta look at your eyes. Some melons.
I can't with y'all right now. I just
Cookies or cake?
Oh, I'm a cake monster.
Cake.
I love cake. Cake.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Crackers or chips?
Chips.
They both swanty.
I don't want no crap. No.
Short hair or long hair?
He didn't answer.
I would say.
Oh, you didn't answer. I'm sorry.
I actually would say crackers. My grandma and I shared a lot of crackers.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
if they animal crackers, I gotta agree with him on that.
Right.
Yeah, that's like a cookie too.
Why they don't call it animal cookies?
That's a gift.
Especially if they got icing on them. I'm in there.
I don't know. That does not make any sense why they call it crackers and not cookies.
What? Animal crackers?
I guess because they consider
graham?
cookies usually
Graham
having
cracker?
like
I love me some graham
some sort of like you got nut or raisin or chocolate. Like there's some sort of additive.
I think it's because
in
they're
the
not
cookie.
flaky.
That too, yeah.
Like cookies are more like a
crunch.
more like a flaky kind of.
Okay, we just digressed on this game.
I know. Right?
Listen, Linda. So she said, long hair, short hair.
Long hair, red bottoms.
I mean,
He's so bougie.
long hair and good long hair.
So you like that silky shit.
No, I didn't say that. I said good long hair.
Meaning they still got their hairline, good long hair.
Meaning that
Natural.
be it natural, be it synthetic, be it like, hey, you still got the receipts. When my aunt was alive, God bless her soul, I spent a lot of time in her hair salon, so I grew an appreciation as a from 13 on for what good hair was. You could see who didn't take care of their hair when they came in, and who got the hands of God working on their scalp when they left. So I appreciate when a woman has good hair. I appreciate when she upkeeps the hair. I appreciate if you've just got a little bit of hair and still looks great. That's awesome. Personally, I do like longer hair, being natural or whatever.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
good.
Good Remy or good natural?
Oh, you said good Ruby.
He look like he prefer natural.
I do.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about taking it off.
Because if we got into the subject even more, some of us gentlemen, we like to run our fingers through our lady's hair. And that's a kind of like when you pet your dog, that's a sign of affection. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the sign of affection when you able to run.
That's not my hair.
Hey, pet that cat, pet that cat.
Wow. All right, Mary. Good job. Good job, Mary.
She came up out of that headache.
I'm feeling so much.
I still got a headache. I'm tired.
Speaking of headache, Tylenol or Motrin?
Slip and slide weather.
What's Mary about to do? I'm trying to take call y'all in the morning.
Motrin, you said Motrin and Tylenol?
Mm-hmm.
I don't take pills, so neither.
What you do to get rid of your headache?
I don't do. I either. First of all, I've never had a headache. I've had a headache probably like 3 times in my life that I'm aware of. And when I've had them, I just would go to sleep.
That's a
So they're very mild, very minor. I just don't get them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't get them too often either, so I feel you.
I wish I could.
It's a light skin thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I get headaches all the time.
I get headaches all the time.
Maybe that's the more red
Chocolate, right.
People over there be getting sick.
No, I get a headache all the time. I have migraines actually.
Do you?
That sucks.
Okay, rap or R&B?
Ooh, that's hard.
Modern rap versus modern
Wherever
rap?
your mind went.
Rap or R&B?
All right, it would be more like if it was. I grew up on hardcore hip hop and R&B, like Mac 10, Ice Cube, everything like that, and nothing on the radio. That's mainstream radio. Let me say that. Let me clean that up. Wants me to do that, so I have to go more R&B.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to agree with David. R&B.
Bruno Mars is a do no wrong. I mean, like he could literally do like Super Bowl 10 more times, and it's
That's
still
very true.
R&B.
R&B.
When we
boom boom.
Y'all should have seen our routine in that.
Hey, we did our damn thing. Look
It was a freestyle routine, but, it was hot.
Since we're talking about, let's play. I'm about to play I Sold Your Pleasure Out.
Yeah.
My God, she's giving me pleasure.
It's just different.
She got me anxious. Our anatomy speaking the same language, and I've been waiting all day to have this conversation. Caress to the confessions, Luke and tell it all. Only secrets between these sheets is Vicky's. Cloud down beneath her feet, let's take it higher. The ecstasy, killed the pill, the pleasure, the supply. I got her rolling. Composure, I'm holding as she sits me back in this chair. Silhouette vision, intoxicating from her feet to her hair. Bites her bottom lip, touching her body, watching me stare. Bend over a naked jump, slowly take off her pumps. Tongue kiss to the air. She told me closed mouths don't get fed tonight. Maniac when she get it, a brainiac with an appetite. And she know I'm gonna feed her right. I can't wait to return the favor. Let's wake the neighbors tonight. Wrap your legs around my shoulders. Let's make you great in this heat. Why you staring at my face when you know it's your favorite seat? When I'm giving you that. Look, I got her open. Typhoon, every time I touch her, I got her soaking. And every moan instrumental to my motion. Beautiful compliments when I get rhythmic with this instrument. And her back arches as she curls her toes in. Gripping the sheets when she moves to my rhythm. Now she winding with every stroke. We lost in this euphoric world. It's only meant for two. Nothing will interrupt the switch of positions abrupt. And I'm working to quake your earth until you erupt. Kissing your neck is where the fire starts. Inferno as the passion marks. Now I'm in it to win it. Your hands pushing me back, don't run. I'ma pull you close till I'm done. When I flick that tongue, you thinking twist to in it. Smack it there so you know the deal. Watching you making those love faces so I know it's real. Gentlemen with class until I get you alone. With this bone, I'm a thug, your harmony letting me know that I'm giving you that.
I'm very flexible.
Okay, we live.
Oh, sorry.
That was beautiful.
That was a great way to stand into the mic. Why don't you?
Very.
One more time for the.
Y'all tuned in to Curvilinear Radio. I am Mary JB.
And I'm Kiki with the E.
And it's Mission Miss Hot Spot. It's after 9 o'clock.
It's Mission Miss Hot Flexible on the spot.
Very flexible.
I didn't ask about that.
She just saying.
I'm just saying.
Flexible, or what would be the opposite? I don't want to say unflexible. Stiff.
Who wants that?
Dead fish? Nah.
Right. We want flexible.
Nah, I'm putting in work, so are you.
I am so weak right now. So it is specialty time.
Yes,
I don't have anything because my head hurt and I wasn't looking. So chill on me, little baby.
Well, I actually bought you something.
You bought me something.
Since you like makeup, well, I didn't bring it for you, but I brought you to see it because I thought you would like it and check it out. Because I went to go get my face snatched at Eastland Mall.
Snatch.
There's this place
had
called
her
Dream
lips looking
Facials.
like cotton candy.
There's this place in Eastland Mall called Dream Facials, and they have makeup.
And then what you got on right now? What you need a neck?
The Bay collection.
The coating right now, but
Yeah, that's the Bay collection. This is Kevin I got on.
she ate that
Oh,
coating
okay,
on.
Kevin.
Mm-hmm. But I
You
like
got
it.
Kevin all
They got
over her
different
lip.
colors, and it's nice. It's only like I want to say down. It's $12 for that lip, and it stays. It's pretty
I
good.
can never. I'm so glad I was born a guy. We're doing chapstick. How much that? $3 for $1? Yeah. So,
I haven't even touched makeup like that. So
Neither have I.
This weekend. It's like no.
Yeah,
Like-
I understand.
I had my lips look like bubble gum.
That's what I thought when I put it on. Like, ooh.
All bubble gum.
Right, without it.
Juicy fruit.
Chewing on my bubble gum.
Yeah, this week I really, the season is changing, so it's now starting to feel really like spring.
you have to say it right. It's spring.
It's cutting season. Finally.
So that winter blue is gone. Like, hey, it was great, but it's like 60 degrees at night. You gotta get off.
The only thing that I wanted to say about with the seasons changing, this is the time for you to really hit sales. Clearances is like pop in online, especially. So if you're looking for something, you know, from the prior season as well as new season, because there's still old stuff that's been on clearance rack from the prior summertime season.
What season is it?
It's spring.
Oh,
it's spring right now.
It's
winter,
winter. There it is. That's what it is. Winter.
It's winter right now. So, like, if you go on to any stores right now, they're going to be big sales on the stuff that were winter stuff. That was it winter? Damn, I can't even remember my damn season. That's how bad my head is throbbing.
If it came out in December, it's on sale now.
Right now, it's on sale. And if you go online, you'll see like summer stuff from last summer that is still on sale. So this is the time for you when the seasons are changing to go ahead and get your sale items in. You'll get like 50% off. You'll find like summer dresses. You'll find tank tops for like $2, $3. You know, hit up them clearance racks. I'm just saying. That's all I got to say. But go ahead. KK, what a mother. Hey.
Well, you know, the seasons is changing and stuff, and we want to make sure we stay up on our personal hygienes and health and all that good stuff. And the reason why I'm saying it because I got an email saying it's time for my checkup. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you want to go into the summertime and springtime smelling all good and feeling all good and looking good. So make sure you get your checkups, please. And also,
she said smelling all good.
Yeah, exactly that. Right. You know what I mean. You know what happened in the summer.
Handle that yeast.
You know when it get I'm glad y'all friends. It get a little hotter in certain areas than others. You know, we want to make sure that everything's right, kosher inside.
You can smell a lot of shit when it's hot.
You want to make sure everything right inside and out.
Yes.
All right,
and then, you know, for the kiddies, Woodward Park, they have signed up right now for soccer. I'm sorry, T-ball. Starting at age 4, I think up to like age 12. Sign your kid up, keep them active. You can go to Woodward Park. Well, I would look up ColumbusRecreationCenter.com or .org or something like that first. I left my paper at home, but Google it. I know for a fact Woodward Park is having it because I get my kids in it. Start them young. Good sports ethics. Get them active. And also, drink your water.
Yes.
Stay hydrated. That's also good for internal health also. You know, I'm all about that water. Make sure you're drinking your water. It's good for headaches, eye aches, any aches. Water will help subside that stuff. I don't care what nobody say.
Even though that's like one of the worst waters.
Water is water. Water is a liquid Band-Aid.
Uh-oh.
Somebody calling us late. Hey, which I won't.
Hello, thank you for calling Curvilinear Radio. Who is this?
Hey, this is Glenn. I got a question for Aaron.
Sure. Can you hear you?
I hear that you're a model. Is that true?
Yeah, that is one of the things I do. It's kind of like a hobby for me. I take it serious, but not super serious.
So, being a model, I'm sure that you guys go through and strut and stuff in front of a lot of people, and that got me nervous. My question to you is, how exactly you get over those pre-fits or nerves that you got to do that a lot of people really can't?
Oh, that's a good question, Glenn. Fortunately, for me, I'm a dancer, so I'm required to like be in front of people. I'm a fitness instructor as well, so I have to teach people that I don't know. A lot of new students all the time, so you get used to being in the presence of faces. But I think it's just like something you just have to get over. Some people, I know me, like Mary said earlier, she's reserved. I'm more reserved, but like when I get on stage, I light up. So if you're one of those types of people, that helps. But really just, we talked about this earlier, but confidence is key. If you know your craft, then it almost don't matter who's doing what anywhere. You're going to go in there with your skills already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I zone out.
One more question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to put you on the spot. I know that you've had a lot of people design clothes for you, but who is number one? I need a name, sir.
Oh, okay. Who's my favorite designer? I have a lot of favorites. Well, I will say I like. Look at that Danielle's cackle in the back. I like Xantha just because she's very eclectic with her stuff. Like she steps real outside the box, and it's kind of worldly. So it's representative of all cultures and different things. Also, I like Juan Ferrero's Couture.
Yes.
He is super dope.
Yes. I got the one for him.
He is super dope.
I said the best.
Because he put me in the car.
I
thought I would wear.
don't cheat.
You said what now?
I said the best, not like. I said the best. Don't cheat.
The best. Oh, that's hard.
Yes, it's a favorite.
She was your queen.
Right. No one else caught that? I know
I missed it. But no, I think for me, I hate to put, because we're live on air, and I love, shout out to all the Columbus designers out there. But I think Juan is probably one of my favorites, one of the best for me, just because his couture is.
He make you feel like Hollywood.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
You too.
Listen, I was gonna ask y'all that too. Your favorite designers, but I didn't want to put you all on blast because that can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that can mess up a career.
Right. So I heard you.
Right.
I heard that you don't like. You didn't even say my name. I don't want to work with you no more. Listen, who this? Thank you for calling. Who is this?
Hey, what's up, Mary Jo? This is Danny Nicole. How you doing?
I'm good, Danny Nicole. I need you to act like you sitting up though. What's up?
I don't have time for that. I'm chilling. Have my wine. I'm chilling.
Sound like you chilling.
That's what she just said. She said, "I have my wine. I'm chilling."
Sound like you're chilling and feeling yourself, but all right. Okay.
Quick question. So, I know that David is a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And Aaron's also a hip hop instructor, dance instructor, choreographer, gymnast, model, all those types of things. So, how's the switchover? Do you ever find yourself it's hard to be able to, switch away from being a fitness instructor and then going into modeling and doing your other things?
Oh, that's
how do you
question.
separate, those types of things? Because sometimes, as a model walk, you can still have, as being a dancer, you want to move more. So I noticed that if you guys are able to separate all those things, when you get on the runway, you're able to do your standard walk, you're able to do your runway walk, and then you can go and then do hip hop, a whole hip hop class, you know what I mean, or a dance class.
Right.
So sometimes, it's hard for people to do that. I've seen where people have been bouncing or swinging their arms, it look like you're dancing or whatever, and they can't separate it. And you guys do that well. Actually, I think you might do it better than even females. So I want to know, how did you do that? How are you able to separate all those things? Because they're all talent. So.
Go ahead, Dave.
I think for me, it just knows where you're at, like what to turn on right then. Like when it's got to be, if I'm doing a class, depending on the class, be it a boot camp, I need to do like the show, say, tell model, to where I'm showing you what to move, telling you how to do it, and then I'm making sure that you're doing it. If I'm teaching a dance class, I've got to be out there just as much where I'm pouring out to make sure everybody else is doing it. But when I'm in a show and I've got to walk, I've got to know that this is what I have to do, to where that energy needs to go into that focus, to where I can't put the same, and it's very hard to do, to make sure that the dancing world that I do doesn't go into the modeling world, and I just don't start single doubling on the runway to a song that I know. So one, I always try to make sure that I know where I'm at, and two, I just try and find that calm space just in me and in my heart and in my head, to where I'm just like, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be right now. Don't be anywhere else. Mentally, just don't be anywhere else. This is where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be at this moment. Mm-hmm. It can be a very difficult thing to do because I can have a day to where, even just like today, we were just talking about it, I can be up at 4 a.m. to where I need to go to a teacher boot camp class and then go to work at Chase and then go work out for myself. And then I need to go lead an event to where, hey, somebody didn't show up, so you've got to teach this other event, and then I've got to be here. But it's just finding those moments, even if it's just like 30 seconds, to bring it back into you to where you need to be. So just given everything that you run into in life, just finding that 30 and just finding you in that.
Yep, he's absolutely right. Balance is the key to everything we do. As me and David are very super busy in this industry, in the fitness industry. And then, of course, the more you get up in the model field or industry, you get requests often too. And so you have to be able to schedule everything accordingly. When you're on the runway, like David said, it's about turning your light on versus off. You know that when you're on the runway, the whole purpose of you being there is really for the designer, really for the garment. It's really not about you unless the designer specifies, oh, yeah, you can dance in my wardrobe. Like, I want you to show your personality. Right. But most of the time, you're there as a muse to represent the garment or whatever you're modeling. Like, so you don't really have much of a say-so or room to be like you in most cases. And so that's what makes it easier from flipping back and forth, because in the dance world, especially as a fitness instructor and you're heading and leading the class, you can be as goofy as you want to, you can dance as hard as you want to or not, and you just kind of play around with, your personality in that industry a little more.
That sounds good. And my last quick question is, since you both are fitness instructors and you're instructing a class, do you find it hard to take instruction from other things that you may not have been in charge of? Like with model walking, or someone said you didn't do that right, or that move not right, or whatever. Does that bother you? Because you used to being a leader or manager, and Aaron's the manager.
Okay, let them answer the question. How to wrap it up? Go ahead.
All right, I will say that it never bothers me not being a leader, because you need to be a student.
Yes.
Because there's so many times where you lead to where you sometimes just want to fall back, but then you have to be asked to lead, so where you always need to be ready to lead. But there are many times where I just take someone else's class, or I just go somewhere to where I can just sit back and absorb. You have to be poured into in order to pour out. So no, because that's what I have to do when I go to church. It's what I have to do in my life. You have to be poured into to be able to deliver all that stuff out.
Speak that word, brother. Yeah, I have nothing more to say. That's it. That is it.
Thank you, Danielle, for calling.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, best.
Love you.
Too.
Love you. Am I allowed to give a quick shout out? Yellow's Throat and stuff.
Sure, of course.
All right. I want to give a shout out to Alicia Allicook.
Yeah, of course.
Alicia's been doing her thing with Swerve, and I want to give her a quick shout out because I know she's starting up a new few locations, and she's even got her website up. They even got T-shirts and everything. She's a really phenomenal dance instructor. And as the seasons are changing and people are looking for some type of option for fitness, like Kiki with the knee, which she's finally going to show it to my class.
I'm going to surprise you.
The Columbus Commons are actually activating back up.
That's exactly what I was about to be saying next before I got cut off.
A lot of people that I know, a lot of the reasons why I got into fitness, be it Alexander Chang, be it Julie Wilkes, and everybody down at 7 Studios, shout outs. One of the reasons why I got into fitness is to show that you could and that you can help other people, and that's the one thing I really like about that. So that's getting ready to start back up. Check the Columbus Commons website for that.
Yes, I just signed my waiver yesterday.
I'm so glad you signed that waiver. That means anything I do is completely okay.
You're right.
You said that in public.
Do you have anything before I let them give out their information? The only thing I got is coming up next week. As you all know, everyone here is in the We Promo USA Entertainment Awards. We will all be presenting and modeling. So May 4th, Friday, is the pre-show. This will be at the Tribute Tavern, 3582 Tribute Road. Doors open at 8:30. Show starts 10. Admission is $10 at the door. ID is required, 21 and up. Sorry, no babies. And May 5th, Saturday, that next Saturday is the actual award show. It's at the St. Mark's Lodge number 7. Red carpet is at 4 p.m. and the award show starts at 5. If you need the directions, you can hit up We Promo USA on Facebook. Also, 988 East Long Street, Columbus, Ohio is the actual address. Tickets are $15 pre-sale. Kids 5 and up are $8. I don't know what it'll be after pre-sale, but right now they're $15. So make sure you hit up either one of us or Rich Smith or Aisha Posey. We got the flyers going up so y'all can get tickets for that.
Amen.
And that's all I got.
So, gentlemen, I need y'all to give out y'all's information so people can follow and check y'all out.
You're more popular than I am.
No,
stop it.
David's at the Commons. Like, how can you? That's the best you could get.
So you are doing the Commons?
Yeah, he does the Commons every year. He's that dope.
Okay. I might have to show up.
He does hip hop and the little.
Maybe I'll go sign the waiver.
Yeah.
But because I know we got to close up. But Aaron DePrince Graffia on Facebook. DePrince, DAPRYNZE on Instagram. I do have YouTube available. Check out my YouTube channel, Aaron Graffia. For those of you who are interested in hip hop fitness, I do have those videos up there for those who wants to learn some choreography with me while you at home. Otherwise, you can come to a class. Of course, I teach hip hop fitness, yoga, and I do some boot camp style classes as well. So whatever your needs are, I can help you get there. So come check me out on any of those platforms. So.
I need yoga.
Or and email theprince@gmail.com. There it is.
And then you'll find me at David G on Facebook. You'll see my face. I've got the beard now. I'm at Lifetime Fitness Easton. I have to say it this way every day. Working on getting my personal trainer license going on, but you can see me Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings for all your fitness needs. I am downtown at 7 Studios at 6 a.m. in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But on my Sundays, they're sacred. You'll see me at the Vineyard helping out the kids because you know they're our future and you got to get poured into. But you can find me on Facebook. That's about the best way. At David G. It is David, capital G, period. And then, I'm working on getting like my own little private page. That way everybody can get on there. Get my fitness page. But
you be showing a lot of skin these days. You gotta have your own little skin page.
See, there you go. But I'm around.
And shout out to the lovely ladies of Curvilinear. They're just amazing. Curvilinear. I'm sorry.
You know, I went to sun setting right when I seen this post. I said, this man spilled it.
There's no E. There's no E in there.
It's I. The
Curvilinear. Oh, my apologies. Let me get the real word. Look at that. Shout out to my lovely ladies. Amazing hostesses. Great platform. They're doing great things for the community. Not just even on the mic, but even outside as gorgeous, glamorous, plus-size beauties. So, just shout out to y'all for just being who y'all are and being strong black women doing the thing.
It's a nice thing to see that out there.
Yeah.
You see, because in too much media, you see it to where, black women aren't friends or they put them in a negative light or anything like that. Or you have a Destiny's Child situation where one's gone, the other one's gone, and then now I'm famous.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that. To where there's community, to where y'all work together, where you don't let each other down. You don't see that a lot in the world.
Yeah.
And showing the black girls, young black girls, that you can do it all. Like y'all can be moms, y'all can be radio hostesses, y'all can do fashion, y'all can do whatever you want to. In that order or more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, pretty much that order.
Yeah, I gotta show up to my class.
Right. I know, right? Add that to you.
It's gonna be in order too.
I think we need to be in his class.
I just said she won't be there alone, so all three of y'all. I appreciate that.
Is it yoga? I just want to do yoga.
That sucks.
Quick plug, yoga in the park. I'll be doing that at Blacklick Park on Saturday starting May 12th. That'll start at 8:45 a.m. So look for that. That's upcoming as well. So come see me.
Excited.
I don't think y'all mature enough for yoga because they're gonna say downward dog. Y'all gonna start cracking up.
Hey.
Actually, that's like
I know what downward dog is.
See, we talked about.
I'm gonna just conclude tonight. Listen, we had fun. I appreciate you two gentlemen for coming. This was so informative, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate you having us.
This was a fun night. I'm going to conclude it.
That was a good stretch.
Listen, bye.
Bye, y'all.
Tears I've cried in a glass of wine. All the pride I felt to have inside will revive if I